So the game ended 1-1, end of regulation. It's going to penalty kicks, and the Tampa Bay Sun folk are doing a little mini running of the wall to this supporter section right here.
Gotham FC and your Tampa Bay Sun is Gotham FC.
USL so early.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think both ways. I think from the experience for the players and especially for the fans to be able to see some of the players that play in the NWSL. But I think it really helps to grow the fan base, but it also helps to grow the players and to grow the relations between the teams. I think it's very important that there is a coexistence in the professional game. It's very different to other countries where there is normally divisions. Here is obviously two separate leagues, but I think it's great. Now we're talking about a country of 300 million people where women's football, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's probably the biggest sport in women's, and there is only like, you know, around 25 or 26 teams, you know, and there's whole states that still don't have a professional team where young girls and young boys go and other people can go and see women's professional soccer, no? So I think it's very important that we have this relation, no? Everything was spot on, you know. So it was congratulations to everyone involved. No?
And my last question then is just if you could see something like that Copa de la Reina here, would that be something that you would prefer?
Yeah, I think that would be really good. You know, it would be. Do you mean like a competition between both leagues? Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, I never thought of this. Yeah, I think for us, we are in a privilege or different position to most of the clubs at Gotham because we played last year the Concacaf Champions Cup. This year we are in the semi-finals of the Concacaf Champions Cup, and we play at the end of the year also the next edition of the Concacaf Champions Cup. So we go a lot of other games with international teams. But I'm a European person. I'm a big fan of the cups. I think having a cup is always exciting, and it would be a good way to compete with each other and to create something a little bit different, because it's obvious that the WSL has been looking for a formula. I've been here for years, and I think we play 4 different formats of a cup: the Challenge Cup, then the Challenge Cup again, then the Summer MX Cup, which was a very good initiative, and now this year we don't play anything. So I think it would be a good idea. If I'm mentioning to both organizations.
Se le viene un horario difícil con Seattle Reign y Orlando Pride, las campeonas del Shield y también de la Copa. Quería preguntarle, este partido con el Tampa Bay Sun, usted habla de posible la Copa de la Reina y esto, ¿el nivel está, le va a servir para el depth que tiene usted para el equipo?
Bueno, al final, más de una pretemporada donde hemos jugado contra 2 equipos de Champions League en Europa, cuando hemos estado de stage en España, y aquí esta semana estábamos aquí cerca en IMG y jugamos con 2 equipos de USL. También el otro día todavía había muchas de nuestras jugadoras en descanso internacional, hoy había algunas que han podido jugar, otras que debido a la carga no. Para nosotros era importante jugar partidos, siempre hay pros y cons dependiendo del rival. Para nosotros, si hemos jugado este partido es porque evidentemente veíamos que nos podría servir de preparación, pero bueno, es un proceso, ¿no? Al final vamos creciendo, un partido, sesiones de entrenamiento, trabajo juntos. Venimos ahora mismo, justo acaban de terminar, ¿no? Las compañeras, creo que hemos tenido 6 o 7 jugadoras que acaban de volver de ventana internacional, ya sea de Europa o en Sudamérica o aquí, y esos periodos siempre son difíciles, pero sí, al final ha sido un partido. Creo que este equipo es muy bueno, creo que es un equipo que tiene las ideas muy claras, con jugadoras que son diferenciales, algunas jugadoras que yo he tenido la oportunidad de competir contra ellas ya en Inglaterra, como Natasha Flint o Hendricks y Jade Moore, son un muy buen equipo, ¿no? También Sidney Naselo es una jugadora que estuvo en España cuando estaba yo en Real Betis, y creo que sí que son juegos, creo que sí que ha sido un partido que nos sirve para preparar ese encuentro ahora mismo, por mi ideología o filosofía con Seattle Reign, ¿no?
Claro, gracias.
Not to have you just, where the USL is sort of in this weird thing where it's like, you want it to be an expanding for the college kids that are coming, but you also have such international flair as well.
Yeah, I think maybe with time you will see, like, US is obviously one of the main powerhouses in the women's game, and it's a very attractive country for players to come over, and I think that obviously the NWSL is in a different level at the moment because of history, but I think the USL has also a very good chance to recruit very good players. How, for example, the Sun is done, like today the debut of Sydney Snyder, who is a player that was part of the Jamaica national team that was in the World Cup. These are the players that are international. I think it will be a process to start recruiting more and more players. There will be, obviously now with no draft, a lot of the young players will come also to the USL, because there is enough room for everyone in the NWSL, and also international talent. And I think there is going to be a lot of transfers between USL to NWSL and vice versa, no? In fact, one of our players came here last year, Kristen Edmonds, and I think it's a really positive relation that we have. For example, now a lot of young players, maybe young players can come play here. There is a lot of formulas to make sure that we support each other, instead of, I'm a big believer to collaborate more than create tension between people or confrontation. I think it's important that we collaborate with each other to make a better game in general here in the US.
Okay, I just wanted to start off by asking, how was Gotham's style of play different from like the USL teams that you faced in the past, or what did it look like facing them versus other teams you faced?
No, I didn't think there was a difference. I feel like it was more about some of their individual talent. You know, they had some really special players that created some like scenarios for us that were a little bit more difficult to handle. But otherwise, I think it was a pretty good press and with a purposeful possession. But pretty similar.
So how, you kind of already answered this, but how do you feel like you guys matched up with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think our league is doing a great job, and we have really talented players at the Sun. I don't know if everybody in our league would stack up like this, but I do feel like we have an incredible roster with a ton of talent. So I'm really proud of the women. I thought it was a good game. It wasn't a one-sided game.
No, go ahead.
Parker, can you take me through your goal that you scored there? You
Yeah.
got some good passes.
Yeah, obviously Tosh got the through ball, and I knew she was going to beat her 1v1, so it was just about getting in the box, and we kind of made eye contact, and it was literally just a perfect pass, and it was just like getting the ball down and scoring. That's all. Yeah.
The team defensively was very compact throughout 90 minutes. Everyone was pushing. Is that something that we will see also against Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, well, I'll take that as a good compliment. Compactness has been a huge focus for us the last couple of weeks. Just being together when you compete. If you go out the game individually, you're going to find breakdowns. But if you make a team, play all of you, then they're going to have a lot of trouble. I think our group has just transitioned really nice in the second half of the season, where they've gotten better and better at playing as a team. So I think whether we're high or low, we're doing it together, and we're not getting caught in that medium space where some are high and some are low, and that can be the trouble you get. Tonight was particularly great when we had our strikers and all of the strikers, but they did an incredible job of helping us defensively. Sometimes you don't get that selflessness from your strikers, and then it's not as easy. But when they're overloading the middle as well, then it forces teams to play in the wide areas. And we had great coverage in the wide areas, and it managed the game a little bit easier.
For Jordan, I was just going to ask, like a month ago you made your professional debut, and now you're playing against one of the best teams in the NWSL. What's that kind of been like for you?
I just think it's been a great opportunity, and I'm just grateful to be on the field and just being able to learn from our players, but also their players as well, and ways I can improve just each and every game.
I wanted to also ask Coach, if possible, how important is essentially, or you would say, the biggest difference between facing an NWSL opposition to a USL Super League opponent?
I just think that we're not going to get caught up in that, right? In that moment, that doesn't make sense. For us, it was like, okay, what have we been working on as a group? Can we execute that? And then, let your talent shine. I mean, these women are really, really great. And I know they're getting credit for that, in different ways. But the NWSL has been around for 10 plus years, right? And so, to be able to show your talent against teams that have, existed longer than our brand new league kind of just shows the level of their ability. So, I was excited for them to be able to highlight what they're capable of, and I think they took the moment and took it well without getting caught up in the moment of oh, this is Gotham NWSL, which people have talked about for the last 4 or 5 years. They're just another team, right? And if you approach it that way, then you let your talent shine, and that's what they did.
I wanted to ask you as well. I guess it's probably easier for you, but a little difficult to take away tactical stuff from a game where you switch all 11 players there. But
yeah.
I guess going into the second half especially, how do you think that all of the players who would be generally, not always, but more frequently substitutes, how do you think that they did as well in their game?
Incredible. I couldn't be more proud of them. I mean, like you said, the first team is always getting that opportunity to play together in games and for longer stretches of time, and they're building those relationships. So, when that second group comes on and they're asked to play, the same way and not let the level drop, I mean, that's really difficult. But I thought they did incredible. They really communicated well. They stayed compact. They took the opportunities to go forward, and it was some of their best games. So I was excited for them.
In the first half as well, it did seem to me like Carly and Sydney might have switched positions for a little bit. Was that something that you told them, or was that something that just happened?
I mean, you just want your players to be fluid that way,
okay.
Right? I mean, Marcelo's been doing a lot of defending for us. when she has that moments to go high, then she dropped in. But if you watch, Tosh was in the back line like 2-3 times. Parker was in the midfield. I mean, when you truly work together like that, and you can be free-flowing, and you don't mind, those replacements for each other to allow for breaks or counterattack opportunities, or just to defend as a unit without getting stretched. If you find yourself back and then you just abandon that position, you're going to find those gaps. But we didn't have a lot of gaps tonight because the women were diligent about those exchanges, so it was really positive.
There's one more question that I have for you that you may or may not want to answer. It's up to you. But there was a number 3 out there. I just wanted to know who the number 3 was.
Who was number 3? Bree?
Was it a defender?
There was a defender without a name on the back.
Bree Bluffton. She's a training player for us right now, working for a contract. Played for me for 4 years at USF. Tremendous defender. I thought she did great tonight. But yeah, I really think Bree's a great player, and really proud of how she stepped up tonight with the group. But she's been training with us for a while now.
Gotcha. And with Jackie Simpson and Aaliyah Pitts, they all did pretty well in the second half.
They did such a great job. Yeah, great defensive unit. I mean, all 3 of them look like they've been playing together a ton, and actually they don't get to play together much as a unit, so they did great.
Jordan, I actually want to take it back to her question for you. Yeah, obviously this is going from college to playing Gotham FC. You probably got the most minutes today as well. What was the difficulty level for you in this game against international level wingers and such?
I mean, obviously, like, they do have their talent, and like I had to be good individually when I was defending them. But I would say just overall, like, taking what we've learned in practice and being able to apply that to the game, and I thought it went well. Really enjoyed it. So.
Parker, your arrival sort of is at the same time as the team switching a bunch of formation and the tactics. How do you think the changes are being implemented and yourself integrating with the team?
Yeah, I think it's been good. Obviously, like in training, we've been working on our blocks and doing the 3-5-2, which I think fits the players that we have, and it's working really well. And then, the coaching staff and players kind of just pulling me aside, like going over a few clips, film, has helped me a lot.
And then Jordan, I think it's evident you have very elite with your frontline speed. You can go 0 to 100 real quick. What were you able to work on in the last couple weeks and in this to kind of build up that individual game and build in more than just speed around the edge?
I would say the defending aspect of it, and like understanding the positioning of wing back and like where I'm supposed to be when it's on the opposite side of the field, and just applying like those tactics, I feel like has been able to help me, so I'm able to set myself up in better positions.
For Jordan, some people missed the flip tonight. I don't know if you're going to be delighting us with another flip against Fort Lauderdale. Yeah?
Yes,
She's saving some up.
Yeah, I got it. Got them on their toes.
How much does it take out of you to do one of those
very
every couple minutes, it seems?
Honestly, not a whole lot.
Okay.
I mean, there's been only a few times where like in college I had to do it 4 in a row, and that took a little out of me. But I would say usually.
So now we know. It's 4 in a row.
Yes, you get 4, and then after that, maybe not.
Did you come from a gymnastics background, or
Yes.
okay, gotcha.
She didn't just randomly do it.
Yeah, I mean,
One day wake up and be like, I'm gonna flip.
that was my assumption, but.
We're not encouraging random.
Were you guys, sorry, one last question. Were you surprised to be able to hold them 1-1 and to go into penalty kicks, or was that kind of like thought that was how you played?
I mean, I encourage them to win. I believe in our team, believe in this group. I think that we have weapons, and that when we take our shot, we can do it. So, no, I'm not surprised.
You guys, either of you?
Oh, no, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, I think we have a great team. I thought we stacked up well.
That's it.
Awesome.